Hey everyone. Someone can't stop replaying you in their mind, and March is when obsession becomes action. Stay here because what I'm seeing is intense. Missing someone operates on spectrum. There's casual missing where you think about person occasionally, remember good times fondly, wonder how they're doing without feeling compelled to reach out. Then there's serious missing, the kind that disrupts your daily functioning, that makes every song remind you of them, that turns ordinary moments into triggers for memories that hurt because person isn't there to share new moments with you. And then beyond serious missing, there's obsessive missing, where they're not just on your mind frequently, they're consuming your thoughts entirely, infiltrating every quiet moment, every decision, every plan, because you can't imagine future without them in it. Can't accept present where they're absent, can't make peace with the reality that whatever you had or could have had is currently suspended in this limbo of separation that's destroying you slowly, relentlessly, without mercy. Guess which one they're experiencing? The third kind, the obsessive kind. The kind that doesn't let them rest, doesn't let them move on, doesn't let them convince themselves they're fine without you even when they try. Even when they tell themselves getting over you is healthiest choice, even when they attempt dating others to prove you're replaceable, when every attempt just reinforces that you're not, that nobody else creates what you created, that what you had wasn't common or ordinary or something they can find. Again, if they just give someone else fair chance is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than. They're stuck on you completely, devastatingly. And March is when stuck becomes unstuck, when internal obsession becomes external pursuit, when missing you privately becomes declaring their feelings publicly, offering love explicitly, risking rejection and humiliation and everything their pride has been protecting them from, because pride matters less than this ache, less than this need to know if there's possibility, if there's chance, if you feel anything close to what they feel, or if they're alone in this intensity that's been building every day you've been apart. Here's what coming back obsessively actually looks like when it manifests in March. They're not coming back casually, not sending friendly "how are you" text to test waters, not liking your social media posts from distance to remind you they exist. They're coming back with force, with urgency, with clarity about what they want that they didn't have before, clarity born from absence, teaching them what presence meant, from losing access, teaching them what access was worth, from experiencing life without you, teaching them that life without you is tolerable but empty, functional but joyless, survivable but not worth surviving, if surviving means permanent separation from person who made everything better, brighter, more meaningful just by being there. The obsession shows in the preparation. They're not winging this. They're thinking about what to say, how to say it, when to say it. They're rehearsing in their mind, playing out scenarios where you respond positively, where you respond negatively, where you're indifferent, trying to prepare for every possibility while knowing that no amount of mental rehearsal actually prepares you for vulnerability of putting your heart out there and waiting for someone to decide whether to catch it or let it drop is less than haste hone. Zero hash is greater than. They're asking people about you, mutual friends if you have them, anyone who might know your current situation, your current emotional state, whether you're seeing someone, whether you mention them, whether there's any indication you might be open to hearing from them. This isn't stalking. This is reconnaissance. This is someone who's serious about coming back, wanting to gather information that helps them approach effectively, that prevents them from reaching out at terrible time or in terrible way, that guarantees rejection when better timing or better approach might leave door open. They're cleaning up their life, getting things in order, addressing whatever issues contributed to separation or whatever issues they've been dealing with since, because they know that coming back to you means showing you they're different, they're better, they've done the work that makes reunion viable where it wasn't viable when you parted. They can't just show up saying, I miss you, without demonstrating, and I've changed in ways that mean being together could actually work this time. This obsessive return has quality of, I've tried everything else and nothing works. They've tried forgetting you, failed. Tried replacing you, failed. Tried convincing themselves they're better off without you, failed spectacularly. And now they're down to final option, which is coming back, being honest, offering love without games or pretense or protection, just raw truth, which is, I can't stop thinking about you. I don't want to stop thinking about you. I want you back in my life in whatever capacity you allow, and I'm willing to risk everything, including my pride, to find out if that's possible is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than. This reflection invites you to consider, have you sensed their energy shifting lately? Felt them thinking about you even without direct contact? Let me address what ready to offer their love means versus what they were offering before if you had previous connection. Before, if there was before, their love might have been conditional, guarded, partial. They gave you pieces, not the whole. Protected themselves through withholding, through maintaining emotional distance that kept them safe from being hurt, but also kept you from experiencing full depth of what they were capable of feeling. What's coming in March is different. This is unguarded love, whole love, love without conditions, without protections, without the walls they usually maintain, because walls don't work anymore. Walls didn't prevent the hurt of losing you. Walls just prevented the joy of fully having you while you were available, and now they understand that protecting themselves from potential pain by refusing to fully invest is strategy that guarantees actual pain of regret, kind of wondering what could have been if they'd just been brave enough to love completely. They're ready to be vulnerable, ready to say things that scare them, ready to admit how much you matter, how deeply they feel, how wrong they were if they minimized your importance before, how much they want you if they never clearly stated that before. This readiness comes from hitting bottom with trying to live without you, from exhausting all alternatives, from arriving at a place where being vulnerable and possibly rejected feels less painful than not trying, and definitely living with regret is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than. The love they're offering includes commitment, includes future, includes willingness to build something real rather than keeping things casual or ambiguous or undefined. If previous dynamic was unclear, was we're just seeing what happens, was them refusing to label or define or commit. That changes. They're coming back with clarity. I want relationship. I want exclusivity. I want us to be official, acknowledged, building toward future together. If there was no previous dynamic, if this is person who's been orbiting without making move, March is when orbit ends and approach begins. They've been watching you, wanting you, imagining what being with you would be like, but held back by fear, by uncertainty, by convincing themselves timing wasn't right, or you weren't interested, or they weren't good enough. All those barriers collapse. Fear of rejection becomes less powerful than fear of never knowing. Uncertainty becomes irrelevant because waiting for certainty means waiting forever. Self-doubt gets overridden by desire strong enough to make them risk looking foolish if it means possibility of being with you. This love they're offering is serious love, adult love. I've thought about this. I know what I want. I'm ready to do the work required to make it last love. Not infatuation, not temporary intensity that fades when novelty wears off. Deep intentional choice to invest in you, to prioritize you, to build life that includes you centrally rather than peripherally. But here's a crucial question. Is this love you want? This reflection invites you to consider if they offer everything you thought you wanted from them, are you actually interested, or have you moved past wanting them, regardless of what they offer is less than has home? Zero hash is greater than, because their readiness doesn't obligate your reciprocation. Their missing you doesn't mean you miss them. Their obsession doesn't require your matching obsession. Their love doesn't create your responsibility to receive it, to return it, to give them chance just because they're finally offering what you wanted before when you wanted it, when you were available, when them offering would have meant everything. Timing matters. Where you are matters. Maybe you've healed from whatever hurt happened between you. Maybe you've moved on. Maybe you've met someone else, or maybe you've discovered you're happier alone than you were with them, that whatever you shared wasn't healthy, even if it was intense, wasn't serving you, even if it was familiar. If that's your truth, if you're not interested in their return, regardless of how serious they are, you owe them honesty, not cruelty. Not rubbing in their face that they took too long, that their timing is off, that you've moved past them. Just clear, honest communication. I appreciate you sharing your feelings. I'm not in place where I want to pursue relationship with you. I wish you well. Clean, respectful, final, doesn't leave door open if door is closed, doesn't give false hope, doesn't play games. They're being vulnerable. They deserve honest response, even if honest response disappoints them. Even if honesty means saying no to someone who's offering their whole heart, because you can't receive someone's heart just to avoid hurting their feelings. Can't enter a relationship you don't want just because someone wants you. Can't sacrifice your truth to protect their ego from consequences of their poor timing or their previous inability to offer what they're offering now. But if you are interested, if their return is something you want, if you've been hoping for exactly this, then your response still needs to be measured, needs to be wise, needs to protect you from repeating patterns that didn't work before. If there was before, don't just fall back into old dynamic because they're saying right words. Require evidence. Require demonstrated change if change is what's needed for this to work. Require time to rebuild trust if trust was broken. Require consistency before committing fully, before believing that intensity they're feeling now translates into sustained effort later, before assuming that obsession in March means dedication in June, in December, in next March, when relationship is no longer new, when work of maintaining it becomes less exciting and more routine. Their serious missing, their obsessive return, their offered love, all of that is beautiful if it's genuine. But genuine needs to be proven through behavior over time, not just through dramatic declarations during high emotion moments when they're feeling desperate, when they're convinced they can't live without you, when they haven't yet tested whether they can actually be the partner they're promising to be versus just someone who's good at promising during pursuit but not good at delivering during actual relationship. This reflection invites you to consider, what would you need to see from them to trust that this time is different if previous times existed and didn't work? Let me give you framework for responding when March brings them back is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than. First, feel what you feel without judging it. If you're excited, let yourself be excited. If you're cautious, honor the caution. If you're conflicted, sit with conflict instead of rushing to resolution. Your feelings are data. They're telling you something about what you want, what you fear, what you need. Listen to them before deciding how to respond. Second, take time before responding. You don't owe immediate answer. I need time to think about this is complete sentence, is valid response. Gives you space to process, to consider, to consult with people you trust, to check in with yourself about what serves you rather than just reacting from emotion, from excitement, from fear of losing opportunity if you don't grab it immediately. Third, if you're interested, set terms. What do you need from them? What pace works for you? What boundaries protect you? What changes need to happen for this to work? Communicate these clearly. I'm open to exploring this, and here's what I need. They're coming back willing to meet you. Hold them to actually meeting you. Don't shrink your needs to accommodate their offer. Expand their offer to meet your needs or acknowledge incompatibility and walk away. Fourth, watch actions more than words. They'll say everything right. They're motivated. They're desperate. They'll promise anything. But do they follow through? Do they show up? Do they do the work? Do they respect boundaries? Do they demonstrate over weeks and months that their initial intensity was foundation for sustained commitment rather than just performance designed to secure you before reverting to previous patterns is less than hash zero. 5 hash is greater than. Fifth, maintain your life separate from them while exploring reunion. Don't merge your identity, your plans, your entire existence into theirs just because they're back, just because their return feels like answer to prayer. Keep your friends, keep your activities, keep your independence. Healthy relationship adds to full life, doesn't become entire life, doesn't replace everything else, enhances what exists rather than consuming it. This reflection invites you to consider what's your biggest fear about them coming back and how will you protect yourself from that fear manifesting. March brings them back, seriously missing you, obsessively thinking about you, ready to offer love they've been holding back, or love they finally realized they feel. This is real. This is happening. The question isn't whether they're coming. They are. The question is what you do when they arrive. Do you receive them? Do you reject them? Do you explore carefully while protecting yourself? Only you know. Only you can decide. Only you can determine whether their return serves you or whether you've outgrown what they're offering, whether you've evolved past needing what they're finally ready to give. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. Trust that you know better than anyone whether this person, this love, this relationship possibility deserves your time, your energy, your vulnerability. They're coming back with everything they have, with love they're finally ready to declare. What happens next is up to you. Choose wisely. Choose from your truth. Choose what